my life looking down on all the bullshit. Lack of motivation, inspiration, feeling useless. Self-reflecting, vanish in the mirror of my conscience. Prayer rug riddled with lack of faith and palm prints. Seems like you ain't listening. I'll keep this to a minimum. People around me sick, and when I call you, nothing's different. My heart just feels the frigid wind. You can call me ignorant. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Please direct me if I'm missing it. Damn, I guess I'm desperate seeking answers. Got a call the other day about my sister. She got cancer. I'm scared, depressed, and angry, but I'm trying not to show it. Pushing her to stay encouraged, keep her head up and stay focused. I cry behind my smile, hoping that it goes unnoticed. Looking back when we were kids, wow, now I can see the closeness. Life is too short, like that Oakland legend Tarshaw. We all just trying to make it, and I hate this part, it's awful. Of the essence, but the essence we return to. Think of all the fads, wads of cash, many burned through. Trying to fill the void, self-destroyed, never loved you. Hurt people, baby, I can't judge you. I'm going through enough to last me for a lifetime. Go on and let your light shine, get back in your right mind. Mental illness is nothing to take lightly. You never know the struggle of another, that's how life be. Rightly guided by love, peace, encouragement to overcome spiritual malnourishment. That's what I ask for in a life, trying to master. Make me a leader, a believer, moving fast forward.
Peace and happy new year, everyone. This is your girl, May. Welcome to episode 191 of Let's Get Activated podcast, streaming right now live on YouTube. Tonight, I have the incredible artist, songwriter, producer, composer, curator, and engineer, King Kamal, returning to the show to build about his new album, The Path Chose, which dropped today. Peace, King.
Peace. Thank you for having me back. Thank you.
No.
I'm humble. I'm grateful.
Oh, no. Happy to have you. So, we're going to get right into it. First, we got to start with this amazing, cover that you created. Do you want to talk about the premise behind that?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you, like I said, for having me back. The artwork, oh man, shout out to Activated Visuals. And me, the concept behind like the planet being completely on fire and being in disarray is kind of like how a lot of people are feeling like these days in this climate that we're in. It's just a lot of chaos. You know what I mean? It's like, pardon the expression, but a lot of people feel like the world that we know or that we did know of is like behind us, and what we have now is in a whole lot of chaos, you know what I mean? So it's just pretty much like what you're seeing is the result of a lot of the aftermath of the path chose for many people that are in leadership and just people abusing their power and people in everyday life. The path chose pretty much can dictate where you are. It's pretty much the what you see right now is the aftermath of decisions that many of us have made or failed to have made. You know what I mean? So, and you just see me in the background, just going with the flow or going against the grain, sometimes doing both. You know what I mean? Like to understand human, the way human beings like roll, it kind of like, if you come from a religious standpoint or other standpoints, people see it as a walking contradiction, but it's like that sometimes, you know what I'm saying? In a sense, many people can be a walking contradiction, you know what I mean? So that's pretty much why you got the world, kind of pretty much going to hell in a handbag, basket, as a lot of the old heads used to say, for lack of better words. So that's how the artwork came about, you know.
Very, very dope. And it definitely fits the theme of the album and the vibe. So, we're going to get right into it song for song. So, first track we have is Next Chapter.
Yeah, next chapter. It's about entering, entering with the new, exiting with the old. You know what I mean? Like, uh, habits, uh, relationships, uh, change of, change of bonds. Some bonds being made stronger, some bonds being broken. You know, just strengthening bonds, evolution of oneself. You know what I mean? So it's kind of pretty much like each day or each year or each experience in life is like a new chapter in your book of life, So that's kind of pretty much like what I was going for with that track. And it just spoke to me. Like I didn't want any drums or any of that, you know what I mean? I just wanted something like soulful just to like, you know, just ride that rhythm like, a wave.
You
Yeah.
definitely did. And I love how you were kind of speaking through it as well. It was definitely raw and definitely a dope intro.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
That wasn't even intentional, just when you get into a zone, you know what I mean? And you become one with the universe, one with self, you know, that those creative juices, they flow. Like, I mean, as a creator how that goes. You go off inspiration, and like I've always said in times past, I try to be like the missing instrument within the track. Like I used to, when I would be heavy into writing, um, I would write before I had the beat. But as I evolved as an artist and got more seasoned, I found myself like just listening to the track first before like writing, until I just like the track began to speak to me and just pull me in, and I just like get into the pockets of it, as I always, say. Yeah.
That's the best, creating the inspiration. So next we have the title track, Path Chose.
Yeah, Path Chose. Actually, Path Chose was like the very first song that was like written, before it was even like going to be an album. I was just, I just had one of those creative like moments where it was just random. And man, it was just, I said, man, this really makes me reflect. You know what I'm saying? Like many of us, are the result, like I said earlier, of where we are. You know what I'm saying? The result of the path chose. Or fail to choose. You know what I mean? And it's just dealing with the change and climate, like I said earlier, in life, in relationships, uh, bonds from childhood throughout life. You know, people that I have in my life are part of the path that I chose, or the path that they chose to incorporate me into that. You know what I mean? And as I go on in a second verse, I'm kind of pretty much explaining how, I can't make everybody happy, like, you know, especially like the people that I love and the people that love me. I can't make everybody happy or everybody satisfied all the time. You know what I mean? So I
Mhm.
can only be me. And a lot of times we as creatives slash artists, we're like often misunderstood, but we as artists, we always understand one another. You know what I mean? And we just willingly, hopefully, you know, hope that they come around and see what our intentions are. You know what I mean? That the path we chose and the decisions that we made uh, are for the best for us first and foremost, and hopefully the best for them if they continue to be in our paths, in us in their path, or on their path. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So next we have Non-Custodial Rodeo.
Yeah. Nah, cause and that's exactly what it is. Sometimes, like, I
Yeah.
mean, peace to the guy Malik Allah. He's featured on an album. I just seen him in the comment section.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, that's exactly what it is. It's like, it's a non-custodial rodeo. I mean, when it's one of those things where when they say be careful who you have kids by, who you have kids with. That I mean, and that's not a sexist thing because that goes for men and women. Be careful who you procreate with, you know what I mean? Because
Hmm.
whether you're the custodial parent or whether you're the non-custodial parent, you know, it can be a rodeo, you know what I'm saying? It got its ups and
Yes.
downs, its twists and turns like you riding on that bull, you know what I mean? And many of us who are um, non-custodial, not the bums, but the ones who have good intentions and stuff, we tend to sometimes like really get it the worst. The good ones who are non-custodial that really try, because a lot of
Hmm.
times the ones that are like non-custodial and are bums, a lot of them get treated like royalty and get all kind of like you know opportunities to be
Hmm.
a part of their child's life and those type of things. And me, I kind of pretty much spoke from the standpoint of a non-custodial parent that tried, that went so hard for years and stuff like that and never gave up. But the fact that my, you know, daughter was already like conditioned, you know what I mean?
Yes.
It turned into one of those things where how they say, you know, a toxic present parent is worse than an absent one. You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
and then it's like as you evolve and you get older, you just start thinking about like, man, you know, everybody needs to grow. And even if I don't think that I need to grow in that area, I still need to consider growth so I can look at certain things differently because a lot of what was allowed, you know, is a part of the decision that I made when I was immature mentally making that decision. You know what I mean? So I don't put all the blame on one person because like they say it takes two to tangle. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Right.
that's what it's funny because it's like non-custodial rodeo, it
Hmm.
rhymed and everything, or it just flowed.
Yeah.
But but the meaning behind it, if anybody has ever gone through it, whether they were custodial or non-custodial, if they went through some toxic stuff, like it fits it perfectly. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? So, yeah. So
Yes.
non-custodial rodeo.
This is human frailty at its finest. I tell you.
Oh yeah, no doubt for sure. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, I'm gonna give it to you all raw. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's what it is. You know what I mean? Like, and that's how we go into the next song. After that on the track list. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. So we have Share, the next track that we played, that we started with. Yeah.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And I love that track. You know, I love it. I really do. It as you can tell, through the lyrics, it's touching on things that people usually feel, well, that should be between you and your loved ones, or you and the people in your circle and all that. But sometimes what the world or traditional and a lot of our communities is considered weak by showing, vulnerability. Me, I pretty much was like, yo, I'm about to share it. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to bear it all because in that I'm gonna be strengthened. I'm gonna be strong because this is like a form of therapy, you know what I mean, for me to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we we're taught keep it to yourself, you know what I'm saying? Don't, and I always say when I talk about don't talk about what's going on in this house and all that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that mentality that they always, you know, tell us. But like, you know, Tyler Perry once said, you know, what if what's going on in that house is like hurting you? You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And it's like everybody doesn't have someone to trust and confide in like that. So me, my songs, and in particular, this album is more like therapeutic for all listeners who have gone through it, who are going through it, or who know someone that's going through it. Like I always try to tap into that. You know what I'm saying? Like I could easily, and when you've had me on the show in the past with certain projects, of course I can get into all the lyrical miracles, you know, stuff that people be talking about, but I always chose to speak about real things and real people in real situations that other people can relate to but don't hear that much of in songs because the artist is too busy trying to showboat and and
Right.
and, and, and make it all about, you know, illusions and stuff like that. Me, I come from that blue collar raw uncut like standpoint where I'm lyrically, musically bearing my heart on my sleeve. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Absolutely. It's clear, concise, and understandable, and it's a vibe, which brings us to title number 5, Vibes Don't Lie.
Oh yeah. Yeah, vibes don't lie. That's you know, that's a joint, man, right there. Like it's a throwback vibe, like late 90s or mid 90s into early 2000s nostalgia, neo soul type thing. You know, people call it neo soul or soul or whatever you want to call it. You know, during the era of, you know, D'Angelo, you know, may be remembered in perfection. Angie Stone may she be remembered in perfection, and Erica Badu and Dilla and all of those greats. You know what I'm saying? It's a track that was produced by DJ Payne one, and you know, he really did his thing, and it's pretty much one of those things where, you know, it's a song for the it's a song for the, you know, the people to be on that intimate type of thing and everything. You know what I mean? It ain't raunchy or nothing like
Right.
that, but it's real. You know, it's fun. You know what I'm saying? It's a bop.
Exactly, exactly. So next we have investments.
Investments. Yeah. Shout out to Mike Chu, man. Yo, that's one of my people from Chicago, man. Like we worked together in the past, like before, you know what I'm saying? Not officially on any projects, but more on independent things that floated around. And, you know, when I was like working on this track, I really, really was like, man, I had some old vocals of his, but I was like, man, I've been trying for the longest to catch up with him. You know what I'm saying? Because he and I were in two separate like cities. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
He's a very busy man, a hell of an artist. I mean, like a dope engineer, a dope songwriter, a dope MC. Like a lot of the things that you pointed out about my attributes and stuff as an artist and all those other things, which I'm grateful and I'm humble for. Like he has those exact same things, you know what I mean? And investments, it was like pretty much like we were talking about investing in yourself as a business because you are a business. You know what I mean? Like think about, you know, your future, think about the now, you know what I'm saying? Like don't get caught up in wasting your time on like goofy shit. You know what I mean? Like pretty much like an encouraging like thing for everybody to not put all your eggs in one basket. You know what I'm saying? Like spread your gifts and talents, you know what I'm saying? Spread your business ideas and stuff, man. Like come together with people, network, you know what I mean? Like that's how we as a people, you know, that, you know, I hate to sound like an old broken record, but that a lot of time that's how we as a people can actually truly make something happen by investing in ourselves and investing in each other. You know what I'm saying? Because people from other groups and other communities, they do it all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And this song is about us all getting on one page with one another. Like I said, no shade or no disrespect to anybody else, But this is one of those songs where it's it's one of those things like, yo, it's that time. You know, some of us are grown, some of us have, you know, kids, some of us are mothers, some of us are fathers, and even some of us who aren't, we will be, or we're responsible for someone's life, or we want to be responsible for the life of loved ones and making sure their future and their well-being as well as ourselves are taken care of. So we got to invest, y'all.
Facts, facts. So next one, this is really, kind of interesting. So this is the seventh track. This is also your seventh time on the show, and this is also a full circle moment because on your very first episode, I found the video of the original version of it and played it. You were shocked. So now this is Therapeutic, the new version. So talk about it.
Word, yeah, you know, wow. I didn't even think of it like that, but that's so dope right there. That's a blessing. Um, it was revisited. The track, the revamped track is produced by Yuri. Um, and shout out to Yuri. Man, I always wanted to officially release the project, you know, the song on an actual like album, but I never really got a chance to because uh, I made a video for it, as you said, you know what I mean? But it was never officially on an album. And the producer, uh, he began to like really blow up in another situation with an artist who, you know what I mean, who was big at the time, started blowing up real big. And I started losing touch with him. He was getting harder and harder to reach. And a lot of his production, I believe, was like, no longer available for other people to uh, purchase or lease or anything like that. And the lines got blurred and it was a gray area. So it never officially got like released. And when I was working on the vibe of this album and I was going through my vaults of like music and creating, I said, man, I said the lyrics, the content and everything fits the motion of this like project. But I was like, dang, man, I can't use that beat though. And even if I want to do this song, not only do I want the lyrics, the raw emotions and everything to fit it, I want the production to fit the vibe of it. And it just so happens that doing my due diligence and my searching, I found the production where, you know, I got behind the boards and stuff when I found the producer for it, you know what I'm saying? And I I did my thing like I always do and like I've been doing for the past few albums, you know, and I pretty much remixed it and made it an official like track, you know what I'm saying? Therapeutic, once again, it's about trying to cope with, you know, these days and times we living in. You know what I'm saying? It's not no mystery. Uh, you know, we living in the days and times of the next 3 years being under a leadership, you know, of those who don't have, you know, a heart for all people of all walks of life. They only have love for themselves and sometimes only particular groups. You know what I mean? So the song is therapeutic in a sense where I'm like, man, let's talk about it. And it's crazy because the song was originally written and recorded around the time of the first term for that person. But
Mm-hmm.
it just so happens that when he spun the block and he got back, you know, in office, nothing is changing. It's like
Nope.
he kind of pretty much picking up where he left off and everything. So it's like, man, the lyrics from the first term are just as relevant as they are doing this second term. Because I remember I wrote and I recorded the song originally in a studio like the day after uh, the election when he won,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like everybody like when I went to my everyday hustle and stuff like that, and and I was like going in different places, everybody was looking depressed. Everybody was just
Mhm.
looking beat and devastated. I mean, you had you know, your little people in the, bunch that was like, yeah, America,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But, but it was like overall, everybody was looking at each other like, yeah, man. Yeah, I know we about to go through some shit. Everybody was just feeling it. So I
Yeah.
took everything that everybody felt like I felt, and I put it into a therapeutic form to where like, hey man, let's stick together however we can, put whatever differences we have on a back burner, and let's just press forward, man. And you know, I'm with y'all if y'all with me, man. And somehow, some way we gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right. So that leads us, perfect segue to the next track entitled Change.
Oh man. Yeah, shout out to the God Malik Allah. Excuse me, my voice is like real hoarse. Uh Man, shout out to the God Malik Allah. That's my A1 from day one. That's my childhood, people and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Like one of the most last of one of the most official like cats that I know walking this planet, man. Like uh man, we go way back like middle age headlines, yo. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like this song actually almost like didn't make the album, and it's crazy because uh it almost didn't make the album because of timing, but
Right.
it's my favorite song on the album. You know what I'm saying? It's my favorite. It's the most meaningful. It's the most important song. Uh I know my last album was called like Full Circle, but this song here is about things in life's chain of events and whatnot, you know what I'm saying, coming back around full circle. You know what I mean?
Right.
This song is about the life altering moments, that define us, uh, uh, that forever changes, into men and women that we are, that we will become. You know what I'm saying? It's a celebration that welcomes joy, pain, uh, and like I said, it was the final song like submitted to the album around the time of my father's unexpected, untimely passing. Like, my father, like he passed recently over the Christmas holidays. You know what I'm saying? May be remembered in perfection.
Yes.
Um, and I was uh, I was honored to get a feature from the God Malik Allah. You know what I'm saying? Um, and man, he did not disappoint. I mean, it was wild because he's also like a super busy person, and man, the fact that his schedule was like so booked, and he found a way to make something happen that like within hours of the album release, like I mixed, I mastered it, I worked on it, you know what I'm saying, and tweaked up a couple things and stuff, and you know, gave a special like, shout out and dedication, you know what I'm saying, to my old man, you know what I'm saying, and man, it was magic. We did that. You know what I'm saying? That song could not have been done like, without him. That track is produced by Bobby G. And other tracks on the album are also produced by Eli. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the producers as well. You know what I'm saying? But that song Change, that's my favorite song on the whole album. And my second favorite song on the whole album is Share.
And, definitely, your father will be remembered in perfection. And I'm so happy that it made it at the 11th hour onto, the album. So beautiful
Yeah.
message and meaning.
Thank you, thank you. Shout out to the God Malik Allah, and you know, shout out to all the producers, shout out to Activated, management, Activated Visuals. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my goodness, man. Like I mean, this right here, if I never made another full solo album and this was it, this would be it. Like, this would be my favorite, my perfect one. Like, to me, it's soulful, it's raw, it's honest, and it's my favorite of all my albums, you know, and that's what it is.
You definitely did your thing. I definitely love the album. And, the final track is Mental Rental.
Yo, that title sounds funny, but I mean, it's real. I mean, it's pretty much venting and letting off some steam, you know what I'm saying? Uh by common sense and being a little bit petty here and there, you know what I'm saying? Touching on, touching on people you may not be thinking about, not even on your radar. But for some reason, I mean, for some awkward reason, you're always on their mind and always in their conversation. They always watching. They're not, they're never supporting, you know what I'm saying? So it's talking about that. It's talking about addressing, like I said, things, people, ideologies, that play a part in being an issue and stuff like that, or the ingredient of many problems, you know what I'm saying? Like, and people coming up with different excuses, uh scientifically, all
Mhm.
spooky like, and all type of tradition handed down religious jargon on why you should accept certain people's behavior that's not normal and that's not acceptable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that song right there was just pretty much like a very necessary song. um it it was like pretty much like the outro, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And at first I was only gonna like release a song, and then I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and do an EP. And it's like, like I said, us creatives, it just
Yeah.
kept flowing. Like, it just kept adding on to where it was born. You know what I'm saying? And the ninth principle in the gods and earth, supreme mathematics is born. Born means to be brought into existence physically as well as mentally. You know what I'm saying? And this right here was born and was brought forth. It only took 9 tracks to complete, to be brought into total fruition. Not 10, not 8, not 7, not 6 or anything like that.
Mhm.
It was just like, after I did 9 tracks, it was just like I was already at a point, like, all this stuff, all this real stuff started happening outside of
Mhm.
music. And like I said, recently, unexpectedly, you know, about less than a week ago with my dad, you know what I'm saying, to where it was just like that was it for me, you know what I'm saying? So I think the listener was able to get the best out of me right before life started lifing. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, and I'm glad that I was able to share that with people. I'm glad that I was able to give that to people, and I really hope that they enjoy it. And it's gonna be like right now, it's exclusively right there. You know what I'm saying? KingKamalHipHop.com. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't care if anybody streams it when it's available for streaming, because you know to me streaming is nothing more than advertisement. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It's kind of pretty much like Robert Glasper said, it's your business card, you know what I'm saying, where people can always find you, or when they're randomly listening to their favorite artists in their playlist, and at the end of who they have in their playlist, your stuff randomly pops up. So it's like,
Right.
after that, people get curious about who you are and stuff, and there's enough information out there, you know what I'm saying, thanks to my management, you know what I'm saying, brilliant, you know what I'm saying, let people will be like, man, this is dope. Let me look this dude up. And then they start researching and they like, oh snap, I can find all this right here, like a one-stop shop and everything. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like, you know, that's what it is. And, you know, the path chose, to me, it's a masterpiece. The artwork is a masterpiece. I'm not saying that with any cockiness. I'm saying it in sheer confidence and knowing what me and my people went through to like make this, to, you know, like the promo, the art, you know, the creating, the visuals and stuff like that, you know, the mixing, the mastering and stuff I did, you know, the redoing stuff. And like we, you know, we did a lot to like get it to the people. You know, we did a lot to put something together for the people. So, you know, we dropped it on the first day of the year, you know what I'm saying? You know, so we dropped it on a foundation of the year, you know what I'm saying? So everybody enjoy and, you know, just vibe with me. I appreciate you all.
Exactly. Knowledge is the foundation. Everybody, I need you to go to KingKamalHipHop.com. Don't just listen to it on there. I need you to purchase it. I purchased it right at midnight. Do that. This is about being organic, genuine. This is what we do. Purchase it and enjoy it because it's a beautiful album.
Thank you so much. And thank you for having me back. And once again, like I said, I want to thank you for having me back. I am honored. I'm grateful. Thank you to all the producers, all the, you know, the phenomenal artists, Malika Live, Mike Chu, you know what I'm saying, that came through for the project and everything, man. And once again, like I said, you know, I dedicate this album, you know, to the memory of my pops, you know what I'm saying? And love is love, and so am I.
Definitely appreciate you always, King Kamal. Appreciate your vulnerability. You know, this is definitely, you know, going to be, you know, just an album that's, you know, that this is timeless, you know, and definitely a beautiful, you know, memorial, you know, to your father, always remembered in perfection. And, you know, I thank you for coming back on.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. You know, we're going to close out this, you know, with Vibes Don't Lie. I wish everybody, you know, peace and love.
Peace.
Yeah. Got a little volume on that beat. Alright, shit. Got a little bit of Remedy left. Remy left in me and shit. Fuck it.
Loving, vibing, love all night. Let's just loving, vibing, love all night.
Yeah.
You're down,
King Kamal,
I'm down.
always. Light behind bars, a light behind art. Imitating it hard, everybody play their part. Looking in the sky, puffin' light, torn apart. To infinite, let's begin it, they gon' end it for a start. African children labor by Victoria's Secret. Picking cotton for the fannies or the panties so she decent. Shit bogus when I stroke it, many nights I laid sleepless. Keep it to myself, I need help, baby Jesus. Let me share my thoughts so I can keep it to myself. I'll be gone by the time the ice in your glass melt. Put me in your flick and I put you in an iPhone. I put you on a pole that's long enough to slide on. Whatever floats your boat, just know that the tide's strong. Ride it like a wave, don't it feel like a python? These are just thoughts in my mind you could try on. Tell me which part of your body you want ice on.
Vibing, love all night.
Saying no to love, it's life.
Let's just loving, vibing, love all night.
Let's vibe if you down.
You're down,
I'm down.
I'm down.
Now baby be my lady cause this moment makes sense. Feeling grown sorta strong off this Remy I'm bent. With your vibe so pure and I'm sure than shit. Nobody wanna be alone or with a devious chick. Got your back when you're winning but'll leave for the end. And if you fall lose it all, better think, no pretending. I'm commending all the women with ass and tight denim who could cheat but refuse cause you choose to be different.